Before we look at the top features, let's do a quick unboxing as well. Opening the box, we have the phone itself, which looks fantastic in this gold color. Then we have the SIM ejector pin packaged in with some paperwork, and for the ones interested, here are the SAR values. Moving on, we have the travel adapter, which has a maximum output rating of 9 watts at 1.6 amperes. The USB to micro USB cable is a standard Samsung affair, which means it should be durable. Up next, we have the earphones packaged nicely in a black plastic box. Samsung usually provides good quality earphones with the flagship phones, so these should be no different. Finally, we have the USB connector, which can be used to transfer data from your old phone and can also turn your S7 Edge into a power bank to charge other phones. Good work, Samsung. Let's have a look at the design first. The Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge is downright gorgeous. In my eyes, it's the best looking phone ever. The phone has a metal rim running along the sides with Gorilla Glass 4 at the front and back. The power key can be found on the right hand side, while the left makes room for the separated volume keys. Along the top is the microphone with a hybrid SIM tray, which has now support for microSD cards up to 2 TB. This is a great move by Samsung, and it means they are listening to the consumers. Good job. The bottom houses the headphone jack, another microphone, a tiny and a little bit disappointing speaker, plus a micro USB port for charging. Towards the back, we have the new 12 megapixel camera, a heart rate sensor, followed by some Samsung branding. Samsung has also redesigned the S7 Edge's camera module. Unlike the S6, the S7 Edge's module sits flat on the phone's back. This is good news for all the folks who like to type with the phone laying down on a flat surface. You can now say goodbye to your phone jumping and rocking from side to side. The front of the phone has the 5 megapixel wide angle camera with some sensors and an LED notification light towards the left, while the also familiar Samsung home button and capacitive multitasking and back buttons are located at the bottom bezel. The physical home button also doubles up as a fingerprint sensor. In my brief testing, I found out that the fingerprint sensor is now a big improvement over the ones found on the S6 and the Note 5. To top it all up, the Galaxy S7 Edge is also IP68 rated, which means it should be able to handle full submersion in water up to 3 feet deep for up to 30 minutes. This is great news for folks who worry about an accidental slip every now and then. In my opinion, the waterproofing and the addition of expandable storage should help Samsung win back a lot of consumers. The screen on the S7 Edge is a 5.5-inch Super AMOLED beauty. If the design of the S7 Edge is stunning, then the same word can be used to describe the display. A pixel density of 534, coupled with those inky blacks and saturated colors, makes for a fantastic viewing experience. Everything from images to movies to games looks beautiful on this curved screen. The display also tends to get really bright for easy sunlight visibility. I had no trouble in reading text or watching videos outdoors. The curved screen also provides for some added functionality. Features from the S6 Edge like Edge Lighting, Apps Edge and People Edge are all present, but the interface is now wider and allows for twice as many app shortcuts. Samsung has also added the Tasks Edge that lets you create shortcuts for common tasks like taking selfies, creating calendar events, adding alarms, composing emails and much more. My favorite feature by far is jumping straight into the dialer from any home screen or app. One change found on the Galaxy S7 Edge over the S6 Edge is the new Always On display, which gives you glanceable information such as time, messages or missed calls, and there's even options to display a calendar, which is great. Let's talk cameras now. The S7 Edge has fewer megapixels compared to the camera on the S6. While the pixel count may be lower, this has allowed for much larger pixels for increased low light performance. One of the biggest improvements over the camera of the S6 is the use of dual pixel technology, which results in noticeably faster autofocus over competing flagship smartphones, especially in low light. In my brief time with the phone, I found out that the 12 megapixel rear camera could take some amazing detailed photos in well-lit indoors and in the daylight. The camera on the S7 Edge also has a f1.7 aperture lens, which means it performs really well in low light conditions. As for video recording, the rear camera can record videos in 4K and with the benefit of having optical image stabilization, the results look very promising. The front-facing shooter comes with 5 megapixel wide angle lens which can take some decent selfies. However, the biggest addition here is the ability to record QHD videos, which means you can get some amazing video quality using the front-facing camera. One of the biggest complaints I had with the S6 Edge was the mediocre battery life. But with the S7 Edge, Samsung has finally fixed this age-old problem. The beefy 3600 mAh battery had no problems in getting me through a day of heavy usage. And I was able to hit a screen on time of 5 hours plus consistently. The phone also manages to charge really quickly, as I was able to get a 50% charge in about 45 minutes and a full charge took 1 hour and 40 minutes. As for the performance, the model I'm using is the Exynos 8 Octa 8890, which consists of 2 sets of quad cores clocked at 2.6 and 1.6 GHz. This is backed by the Mali T880 MP12 GPU and 4 GB of RAM. The benchmark scores I got were through the roof. AnTuTu gave a score of 130664, Geekbench 3 returned a single core score of 2075 and a multi-core score of 5930, while 3D Mark clocked a score of 2135. The day-to-day performance on the phone was top-notch as well, but the famous TouchWiz lag was still present, especially when using the edge screen functionality. Don't get me wrong, it does not get in your way or anything, but it's annoying nevertheless. On the upside though, app opening and loading times were great. The gaming performance on the phone was also right up there with the best. I will be doing a full gaming review, so please subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out once it's uploaded. The Galaxy S7 Edge is priced at Rs 56,900 in India. In my opinion, it's a fantastic smartphone and it ticks all the right boxes when it comes to a flagship. In the real world, there's nothing like a perfect smartphone. But if there was one, I think this phone would come the closest to take the top spot. Guys, as always, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.